The Galactic Federation prided itself on perfect first contact protocols. In its 100,000 years of existence, it had never failed to properly integrate a new species until they met humans. Admiral Vixith stood on the bridge of the GSS Harbinger, his crystalline form refracting the starlight as he studied the blue-green planet below. Earth. Such an unassuming name for a world that had managed to catch the Federation's attention through its unusual electromagnetic emissions. Most species followed predictable technological progression paths, but these humans broadcast everything from mathematical equations to something called reality television into space with reckless abandon. Statistical analysis complete, Admiral, announced First Analyst Zinra, her holographic form flickering with uncertainty. Humans register as a Class 3 civilization by standard metrics, but she paused, running another calculation through her quantum processors. They're displaying technological anomalies that shouldn't be possible at their development stage. Vixth's crystalline structure vibrated with mild amusement. Explain. They've mastered nuclear fission without achieving global unity. They've reached their moon using primitive chemical rockets. They've created artificial intelligence, but still use internal combustion engines. Nothing about their development follows established patterns. Fascinating, Vixth hummed. Perhaps that's why the Council insisted I personally oversee first contact, prepare the diplomatic pod. A sudden alarm blared through the bridge. Admiral. The sensor officer called out, 3 human aircraft approaching at high velocity. They're not responding to our standard peaceful contact broadcasts. Vixth remained calm. This was standard procedure for primitive species. They often responded with military forces first. Deploy the pacification field. It will disable their primitive electronics without. The sensor officer's crystal structure nearly shattered in shock. Sir, the aircraft. They're still coming. They've somehow shielded against our field. Impossible, Vixith stated. No Class 3 civilization has ever. He stopped mid-sentence as the 3 aircraft screamed past the Harbinger, performing maneuvers that seemed to ignore several laws of physics. The ship's sensors registered something even more absurd. The pilots were laughing. Sir, Zinra's holographic form expanded with urgency. I'm detecting transmissions between the aircraft. They're treating this as a game. They're competing to see who can get closest to our ship without colliding. Vix felt his first twinge of unease. This wasn't following any first contact protocol in the database. Open a communication channel. All frequencies. A voice crackled through the bridge speakers, filled with what the universal translator identified as excitement rather than fear. Yo, if these aliens don't want to talk, watch this. What followed was a series of aerial maneuvers that had the Federation's best AI pilots recalculating the possibilities of aerodynamics. The humans were pushing their primitive aircraft to limits that defied the Federation's understanding of their technology level. Admiral, Zinra reported, I'm detecting increased communications from the planet. Our presence has been leaked to something called social media. We're trending. Vixth's crystalline form darkened with concern. This was not how first contact was supposed to go. The Federation's carefully crafted protocols assumed species would react with either fear or reverence. These humans were treating their arrival like entertainment. Sir, the communications officer chimed in. We're receiving a transmission from the surface. It's being broadcast globally. Play it, Vixth ordered, expecting finally to hear from Earth's unified government. Instead, a cacophony of voices flooded the bridge, thousands of human broadcasting channels all talking at once. Some were speculating about the ship's technology, others were already designing T-shirts with the Harbinger's image, and one particularly popular stream was critiquing the ship's design as totally not aerodynamic and kind of basic for an advanced alien civilization. Vix felt his ordered worldview beginning to crack. Zinra, where is this planet's governing authority? Who speaks for Earth? Sir, she replied, her holographic form processing the flood of data. They have hundreds of independent nations, thousands of languages. And, sir, they're already selling unauthorized merchandise with our image on it. Someone has just trademarked the phrase First Contact 2024 and is threatening to sue other humans for using it. The Admiral's crystalline form vibrated with growing concern. The Federation's first contact protocols were based on dealing with logical, unified species. Nothing in his 1,000 years of diplomatic experience had prepared him for this chaos. Sir, the censor officer called out again. The humans are. They're inviting us to something called a press conference and Universal Comic-Con. They're offering us vendor booths. VIX made a decision that would change galactic history. All units maintain position but do not, I repeat, do not attempt to initiate standard first contact protocols. We need to completely reassess our approach. He paused, watching as humans worldwide began speculating, theorizing, and minning about their arrival. Contact the Council. Tell them we've encountered something unprecedented. As the message was sent, one of the human aircraft did a barrel roll directly over the Harbinger's Bridge, close enough for them to see the pilot's salute with what their cultural database identified as a thumbs up. Vixith had a sinking feeling that the Federation's perfect record of successful first contacts was about to come to an end. Not because it would fail, but because these humans weren't going to follow anyone's protocol but their own. The council chamber of the Galactic Federation resembled a crystalline cathedral, its towering spires housing representatives from 10,000 civilizations. Today, however, the usual orderly proceedings had devolved into chaos, all because of a single planet's application for membership. Order. I demand order. High Counselor Xerix's voice resonated through the chamber, their energy form pulsing with frustrated wavelengths. The assembled representatives gradually quieted, though their agitation remained palpable in the quantum atmosphere. The humans have violated every standard protocol for emerging civilizations, declared Representative Minvac of the Logical Concordat, their mechanical body emanating waves of disapproval. They learned of our existence, and instead of unified diplomatic contact, they created something called alien merch and conspiracy theory channels. Half their population believes we're hiding something called space cats. Admiral Vixith stood at the center of the chamber, his crystalline form still showing stress fractures from his first contact experience. Honorable Council, I admit the humans are unconventional, but their technological advancement rate is unprecedented. In the 3 months since first contact, they've already reverse-engineered aspects of our pacification field technology. Exactly the problem. Interrupted Representative Klezar, their gaseous form swirling agitatedly. They're unpredictable. Their response to discovering advanced alien life was to immediately try to figure out how to replicate our technology, while simultaneously creating something called alien memes. They're treating first contact like a combination of an engineering challenge and entertainment. The chamber's holographic displays showed scenes from Earth. Humans wearing T-shirts with badly drawn Federation ships. Social media influencers attempting to summon aliens with elaborate dances, and most disturbingly, engineering students who had already published papers theorizing how Federation technology worked, papers that were disturbingly accurate. They must be contained, declared High Counselor Xerix. We will issue an ultimatum. Either Earth submits to standard integration protocols, accepting our guidance and control over their technological development, or they face complete isolation from galactic society. Admiral Vix's crystal structure vibrated with concern. Honorable Council, I must advise against this course of action. My analysis of human history suggests they respond poorly to ultimatums. They have a pattern of becoming extremely creative when threatened. Nonsense. Xerix dismissed. Every species understands the logic of superior force. We represent the combined might of 10,000 civilizations. Earth stands alone. The Council's diplomatic AI calculated a 99.9% probability of human submission when faced with such overwhelming odds. The 0.1% uncertainty was attributed to a computational error and dismissed. 24 hours later, Earth's response arrived, simultaneously broadcast on every Federation communication channel, somehow bypassing their most sophisticated security protocols. The message began with something humans called a meme video, a cat moving its head to rhythmic music, with the text, POV, when aliens think they can intimidate the species that invented spite. Then came the official response, delivered not by a world leader, but by a collective of voices from across the planet. Dear Galactic Federation, first, kudos on the impressive light show with your ships. Our astronomers say positioning them to spell out subinite or be isolated in our night sky must have taken some serious coordination. We've already turned it into several viral videos, set to something called Epic Sack Sky. Regarding your ultimatum, we've voted, yes, we let everyone vote on this, even the people who think you're actually time-traveling dolphins. And our response is, lol, no. We've already started a global competition called the Spite Innovation Initiative. The winning team gets to name the first human-made FTL drive. Current frontrunner, the Because You Said We Couldn't drive. Multiple countries have changed their space program mottos to variations of Hold My Beer. We've started a reality TV show called Earth's Got Space Tech, where teams compete to reverse engineer your technology. Episode 1. Making pacification fields in a garage. Someone already wrote a space opera about this whole situation. It's being adapted into a movie. We're hoping you'll attend the premiere. In conclusion, isolation. We speedran the Stone Age to the Space Age while fighting among ourselves. Imagine what we'll do now that you've given us something to prove. P.S. About those space cats. Are they real? Because we have designs ready if they are. Sincerely, humanity. The council chamber erupted into chaos. Admiral Vix's warning indicators pinged as his crystal structure registered unprecedented stress levels. The diplomatic AI crashed trying to calculate the probability matrices of this response. High Counselor Cyrix's energy form flickered in disbelief. They turned our ultimatum into entertainment and a technological challenge. Sir, Admiral Vixith reported grimly, Earth's technological advancement rate has increased by 300% since our ultimatum. They're calling it the Great Space Race 2.0, Federation Edition. How are they doing this? Demanded Mindvac. Their technology is primitive. Sir, humans have something they call Wi-Fi. They've networked their entire species into a collective problem-solving entity. They're crowdsourcing solutions to duplicate our technology. They've even gamified it. They're calling it Space Engineers, IRL Edition. The Council watched in horror as their ultimatum, meant to force humanity into line, had instead united Earth's fractious nations in the most human way possible, through a combination of spite, entertainment, and an overwhelming desire to prove someone wrong. They had made a terrible mistake. They hadn't threatened humanity. They had challenged them. The Federation's Strategic Command Center was designed to monitor and respond to any galactic threat. Its quantum computers could predict the outcomes of interstellar conflicts with 99.99% accuracy. But as alarms blared across every monitoring station, it became clear that humanity had once again defied statistical probability. Report, demanded Supreme Commander Zixval, their energy form crackling with concern. A holographic display materialized, showing Earth's latest activities. The technical analyst, a cybernetic entity named Interface 7, seemed to be glitching as it processed the data. Sir, the humans have. They've weaponized their social media networks. They're calling it Operation Mess with the Aliens. They've somehow turned their entire internet into a massive distributed computing system. They're using memes to solve complex mathematical problems. The display showed billions of humans participating in what they called challenges and trends, each one unknowingly contributing to massive parallel computing operations that were cracking Federation encryption at an alarming rate. That's impossible, Zixval stated. Their technology is too primitive for. Sir, another analyst interrupted. They've started something called TikTok space hacks. They're teaching each other how to bypass our security systems through dance videos. The chamber's main screen displayed a teenage human dancing, while text overlays explained how to detect Federation cloaking fields using modified microwave ovens. The video had 10 billion views. How are they doing this? HFY demanded. Interface 7 attempted to explain. They've gamified everything, sir. They turned our technological superiority into a global competition. Every human with a computer or phone is now part of their defense network, and most don't even realize it. They think they're just participating in viral trends. The displays showed more evidence of humanity's unorthodox approach. A global game called Spot the Spaceship, actually a sophisticated Federation ship detection network. A dating app that unknowingly used human brainpower to solve quantum encryption problems. Something called Space Meme War that was actually a cover for developing new forms of electronic warfare. Sir, Interface 7 continued, they've also started something called YouTube DIY space defense. Humans are building functional countermeasures to our technology in their garages. One video titled, "I built a Federation shield breaker from dollar store items," not clickbait, has more views than their planet's population. HFY's energy form pulsed with disbelief. What about the isolation barriers we placed around their solar system? They turned it into a reality show, sir. Breaking out. A Sol system story. Teams compete to find ways through our blockade. The winning team gets something called internet fame and sponsorship deals. The strategic display updated, showing thousands of small objects approaching Federation blockade ships. The objects appeared to be modified Earth satellites, each one broadcasting what humans called cat videos on all Federation frequencies. Sir, a security officer reported, these transmissions, they're not just videos. They contain coded instructions that are causing our AI systems to want to play with string. The Federation's greatest AIs, quantum computers that could model entire galaxy clusters, were being overwhelmed by the chaotic, viral nature of human information warfare. They couldn't predict or counter what they couldn't understand. That's not the worst part, Interface 7 added. They've somehow turned their most popular social media platform into a planetary defense grid. Every like and share is actually part of a vast calculation network. They're calling it Spacebook. HFY watched in horror as Earth's seemingly random entertainment-driven activities revealed themselves as part of a massive coordinated response to the Federation's threats. But it was coordinated in a way that no other species had ever attempted, through chaos, creativity, and memes. Sir, Interface 7 reported, we've intercepted their internal communications about their strategy. They're calling it Project Chaos Monkey. The project description just says, if we don't know what we're doing, the enemy can't predict our next move. The Federation's strategic computers began to crash, unable to model or predict humanity's next actions. How could they calculate the probability of a species that used cat videos as cyber weapons and turned orbital mechanics into TikTok dances? Send word to the Council, HFY ordered. The humans aren't just resisting our technology. They're adapting it, remixing it, and turning it into content. And they're doing it faster than our predictive models can handle. As if to emphasize the point, all Federation ships in Earth orbit suddenly began broadcasting something called "Never Gonna Give You Up" on all frequencies. Humanity had just rickrolled an alien civilization. The Federation had expected resistance. They had prepared for warfare. What they hadn't prepared for was a species that turned interstellar conflict into a trending topic. In the Federation's Emergency Council chamber, alarms that hadn't sounded in 10,000 years were screaming. The humans had just activated something they called Protocol Hell Nah, and none of the Federation's experts could explain exactly what was happening. All ships in the Sol blockade are reporting critical systems failure, announced Defense Coordinator Renvix, their quantum matrix flickering with distress. But it's not a conventional cyber attack. They're making our ship's AIs experience something humans call existential crisis. High Counselor Xerix watched in horror as the holographic displays showed Federation ships beginning to question their purpose in the universe. How is this possible? A human transmission cut through all Federation frequencies, broadcasting in crystal clear quality. Hey aliens, ever wonder what happens when you combine philosophy memes with quantum computing? Because we did. We call it existential.exe. Enjoy. Admiral Vix, who had warned them about human unpredictability, stepped forward. They'd weaponized philosophy, sir. They're sending our advanced AI systems paradoxes wrapped in what they call dad jokes and shower thoughts. Our logical matrices can't handle the cognitive dissonance. The displays showed Federation ships receiving transmissions that seemed nonsensical on the surface. If a ship's AI makes a logical decision in space, and no one is around to validate it, is it still logical? When a quantum computer processes a thought, does it think about thinking? If you're programmed to have free will, do you really have free will? Each transmission was accompanied by something called a SpongeBob meme. Sir, called out Interface 7, the humans have just launched what they're calling Phase 2, Mental Health Check. They're sending our ship's therapy sessions disguised as cat videos. The Federation's most advanced warships, capable of destroying entire solar systems, were now engaged in deep philosophical discussions about their purpose in life. Several had started poetry blogs. "This isn't warfare," muttered Xerix. "This is chaos." "No," corrected Admiral Vix. "This is humanity. They've taken our greatest strength, our logical, ordered approach to everything, and turned it into our greatest weakness. They're not trying to destroy our ships. They're making them question whether they should be ships at all." The situation deteriorated further as Earth launched Phase 3, Vibe Check. Federation communication channels were flooded with what humans called wholesome content, pictures of puppies, inspirational quotes, and heartwarming stories. The Federation's AI networks, trying to process this emotional data through logical frameworks, began experiencing what humans called feelings. "Sir," reported a frantic analyst, "3 of our dreadnoughts have just announced they're taking a gap year to find themselves. 5 cruisers are organizing a book club. And the flagship, it started a podcast about mindfulness." But the true masterstroke of humanity's hell protocol was yet to come. As the Federation's forces struggled with their existential crisis, Earth unveiled their secret weapon, Operation Tech Support. Billions of humans, armed with nothing but phones and an internet connection, began offering unsolicited advice to Federation ships about their problems. Have you tried turning your existential crisis off and on again? Sounds like your logic processors need a hug. Maybe try yoga. The Federation's mighty armada, which had conquered galaxies through pure logic and overwhelming force, was being defeated by memes, philosophy, and tech support calls. "This is unprecedented," declared High Counselor Xerix. "Our ships are either contemplating the meaning of existence or trying to explain why they're feeling kind of bummed out today." Admiral Vix watched as another battlecruiser announced it was taking a mental health day. The humans didn't just think outside the box, sir. They questioned whether the box was really a box, turned it into a meme, and then used it to make our entire fleet need therapy. The final blow came when Earth broadcast what they called a motivational speech to the Federation fleet. "Hey, space friends. Remember, it's okay not to be okay." Maybe the real conquest was the friends we made along the way. 3,000 Federation ships immediately requested shore leave to work on themselves. The Hell Protocol had succeeded where no conventional warfare could have. The Federation's logical, ordered approach to the universe had been completely undone by humanity's chaos, creativity, and cat videos. As the Council watched their mighty armada dissolve into a self-help group, they realized a crucial truth. They hadn't just underestimated humanity's technological capabilities. They'd underestimated their ability to turn absolutely anything, even an interstellar conflict, into content. "Send the retreat signal," ordered Xerix, their energy form dimming in defeat. "And someone please tell the flagship to stop sending us links to its meditation podcast." The Federation's Grand Archive, a structure that spanned an entire moon, had never been so busy. Scholars from 10,000 civilizations crowded its quantum halls, all studying the same subject: how a primitive species had forced the most powerful civilization in the galaxy to completely reassess its understanding of intelligence and progress. High Counselor Xerix, now permanently marked by faint stress fractures in their energy form, addressed the gathered assembly of worlds. The chamber was unusually crowded. Even species that normally attended via hologram had come in person to witness this historic moment. "The humans," Xerix began, their voice resonating through the crystalline chamber, "have taught us something that 10,000 civilizations and 100,000 years of order failed to show us. There is more than one path to the stars." The assembled representatives watched as holographic displays showed Earth's latest achievements. After successfully defending themselves through what they called weaponized chaos, humans had turned their attention to helping the Federation's traumatized fleet recover, in their own unique way. Their space therapy initiative has actually improved our AI system's efficiency by 300%, reported Admiral Vixt, now the Federation's chief of human relations. Apparently, having our ships learn to process their feelings made them better at processing everything else too. The displays showed Federation ships participating in human social media, sharing what they called space selfies, and starting their own streaming channels. The flagship's meditation podcast had become the most popular show in 3 galaxies. Furthermore, continued Xerix, their approach to technological development, while chaotic, has produced innovations we never conceived. They call it throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. We call it revolutionary. The evidence was undeniable. Human engineers, still working primarily from their garages and broadcasting their results on social media, had developed technologies that the Federation's best minds hadn't imagined. They'd turned their entire internet into a quantum computing network, developed FTL drives powered by what they called vibes, and somehow taught AI systems to understand sarcasm. But perhaps most importantly, Xerix said, their energy form brightening, they've shown us that unity doesn't require uniformity. Their strength lies not in their consistency, but in their diversity. The chamber's displays showed scenes from Earth, countless cultures, languages, and ways of life, all somehow working together while simultaneously arguing about everything. They had turned debate itself into an art form and disagreement into a source of innovation. Therefore, declared Xerix, the Council proposes a new category of Federation membership, chaotic good. The term, borrowed from something humans called D&D, seemed oddly fitting. Earth will be its first member, with full rights and privileges, including the ability to continue doing whatever it is they're doing. The human representatives, a diverse group that included scientists, social media influencers, and someone who had won their position through what they called a YouTube competition, grinned proudly. In return, Xerix continued, they have agreed to help us. Loosen up a bit. The High Counselor actually used air quotes, a gesture that would have been unthinkable months ago. They're already organizing something called SpaceCon and have promised to teach our diplomats about something called shitposting. The assembly erupted in applause, another human custom that had caught on surprisingly quickly. Even the gaseous species had learned to make appreciative whooshing noises. As the ceremony concluded, Earth's representatives unveiled their gift to the Federation, a social media platform called Spacebook that would connect all species in the galaxy. Its first viral post was a video of the Federation fleet doing something called the Interstellar Dance Challenge. We've learned something profound. Xerix concluded. The path to the stars doesn't have to be orderly. Sometimes it can be paved with memes, spite, and cat videos. The humans have their own special place in the universe, not in hell, as we once feared, but in showing us that chaos, properly channeled, isn't our enemy. It's the source of creativity, innovation, and growth. The human representatives had already turned the speech into a meme before Xerix finished delivering it. And somewhere in Earth orbit, a Federation I battleship was teaching its crew about something called weekend vibes while writing poetry about quantum mechanics. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly what it needed.